Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. I'm your host, Jermaine. The youngsters call me OG. My friends call me J-Dub. Let's get to it. Whenever you have players go deep into the playoffs and they've already done great things in the regular season, naturally, the talk is going to be about where they land all time. So, for example, Hakeem Olajuwon in 1994, when they were making their finals run. At that point, he hadn't won a league MVP yet. He had just won the league MVP that year. He had been the defensive player of the year twice in back-to-back seasons, as a matter of fact. He's one of the best rebounders in the game, one of the best rim protectors in the game at that point. So naturally, when he's making this run, the questions asked is, how great can he be? Can he be Chamberlain good? Can he be Jabbar good? Can he be Russell good? Can he be that good? That was the natural reaction because the way he was playing at that time, he was all-time great. And then when they won it again in 95, he ends up solidifying himself as an all-time great. In addition to what he was already doing. He solidified himself as that. But in the process, before he had won, there was all types of projection. How good can he be? Is he Jabbar good? Who is this good on the block? Was he as good as Bill Russell as a defender? And these kind of conversations were coming up. And the way he was playing, we were talking about him as an all-time great. That he has the potential to be that good. Well, that's kind of going on with Joker right now. Is Joker Hakeem Olajuwon good? No, I don't think so. Is he as good as any of those big guys back then? I think that's going to be where the dilemma is. But naturally, because the run that he on right now, and them being in the playoffs, them being in the NBA Finals, and him basically almost averaging a triple-double, and just yesterday, the first player in the NBA history to go 30, 20, and 10 in an NBA Finals game, naturally, people are going to talk about him. The questions are going to come up. Can he be as good as this guy? Can he be as good as that guy? Where does he land with this team? Well, he hasn't won yet, so we still have to hold off on those conversations. But in the process, during this, we could talk about how awesome he's been. And how awesome has he been? Again, he's the only player in NBA history to go 30, 20, and 10 in a game in the NBA Finals. Nobody's ever done that. I think he's averaging a triple-double in the NBA Finals. The way that offense is constructed. They run that offense through him. He requires so much attention that he makes life so much less difficult for the guys that he's running with. So a guy like Jamal Murray, who's fantastic, by the way. A guy like Jamal Murray, who gets drop coverage on him because Joker attracts so much attention, guys go under screens. Joker is such a great screen setter that a guy goes under the screen, which leaves Jamal Murray 19 feet away from the basket to stick that open shot. If you go around the screen and chase, what you're going to get is you're going to get a switch, which is what happened with Bam and Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler and Bam are covering both Joker and Jamal Murray. It was early in the second quarter where these two guys are covering, and we get a switch between Jimmy Butler and Joker. And what does Joker do? Joker immediately goes to the block. Goes to the box, takes Jimmy Butler down there, and treats him like a small guy. Now, what's the counter to that? The counter to that is, if you don't do that, if you double him, Joker's just going to find the open man. And not just find the open man, he's going to find the open man for a good shot. So we get to a point with Joker where he's so good in the process that we have to start having these conversations. And does that mean that he's Ewing good? Does that mean that he's Olajuwon good? Does that mean that he's David Robinson good? I think that he's in a position where he's fighting an uphill battle. And in the process of fighting that uphill battle, he's going to have to do a lot in order to get into the pantheon of big men. Particularly the top five. Is he Olajuwon good? Is he Chamberlain good? Is he Shaq good? Man, he's going to have to do a lot to get into the pantheon of big men. But of course, because they're in the NBA Finals and they're making the run that they're making, he's the catalyst to that. As good as Michael Porter Jr. has been throughout the season, he's not been playing well in the playoffs. I think he's shooting less than 15% on the long ball, which is his game. But as good as he had been playing up until the playoffs, as good as KCP had been playing up until the NBA Finals, not the playoffs, I'm sorry, up until the NBA Finals, as good as he had been playing up until that point, Joker was the catalyst to all of this stuff. So it's natural that when this guy wins the NBA championship, that conversation is going to get louder. Now, what people are going to confuse is, people are going to confuse you saying that, yo, he's Olajuwon good. No, he's not. Mm-mm. He's Chamberlain good. No, he's not. Mm-mm. He's Shaq good. No, he's not. Russell, Jabbar. Mm-mm. Not there. No, not there. Is he still awesome, however? Yes, he is fantastic. The Miami Heat have themselves a conundrum. What that means is they counter something but aren't prepared for the other thing. So they find themselves in a difficult situation where, are we just going to have to deal with this? Or can we do something about it? Well, what can they do about it? Well, let's talk about Bam, for example. Bam shows up, and if Bam could get going early in terms of a scorer, offensively, Bam runs the offense. There are a lot of their sets off of him. Now, he doesn't require the gravity that Joker does, but they run a lot of their sets through him. He touches the ball a lot, and when he touches the ball, a lot of times good things happen, but not to the gravity, not to the magnitude of Joker. No. So, how can Bam enhance what the Miami Heat are doing? Well, he can enhance that by finishing around the basket even more. He can enhance that by the shots that he gets. He can convert those shots even more. So the mid-post shots that he gets, the shots around the rim. Now it's tough to finish around a 7-footer in Joker, but he's a better athlete than Joker. He gets up higher than Joker. I don't think he's stronger than Joker, but I think he's just as strong as Joker. So I don't think that it's that much more difficult than it would be against Robert Williams, who he was finishing around the rim against him, or Mitchell Robinson. So I don't think it's that much more difficult. I think that he could play better as a scorer. You know, you see the 22 points he had yesterday. He missed 2/3 of his shots. And the 2/3 of his shots that he missed, a lot of that stuff was around the rim, which is where they need him to convert. I said this to you guys a year ago, and I'm standing on it to this day. Bam may be limited offensively, but you can demand that he get better. And he has gotten better. You can demand that from him. He has gotten better. We're talking about an all-NBA performer. We're talking about an all-league defender who has done that, which means he has improved. And that's largely due to the fact that that's been demanded of him. You're not just going to trade him away. That's largely why the Miami Heat are in the NBA Finals. It's not just because Jimmy Butler is dragging this team. Well, we got a pretty good team in the Miami Heat. A pretty good team in the Miami Heat. And the effort logic doesn't work. And the reason why the effort logic doesn't work is because, you know, your best may be better than my best. My best may be better than your best. That doesn't mean I ain't trying. That doesn't mean that you ain't trying. So when you get the Miami Heat attempting to rebound, well, they're attempting to rebound with both Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin against Joker. Joker slips Gabe Vincent because he's a smaller guy, and he basically, it's called in rebounding, it's called a swim move or slipping the guy, basically getting around the hand and getting better position to go rebound the basketball. So he could slip the smaller guy and Gabe Vincent. So now that leaves him and Caleb Martin underneath the basket, and he's gonna win that. He's gonna win that battle all day long. Now Bam Adebayo is on his back. With Bam being on his back, Bam is at a disadvantage because now Bam can only foul. So we're talking about Jamal Murray getting a second chance opportunity because he had missed the shot and the ball came back to him at the free throw line. Well, you got to give better effort there. That wasn't the difference in winning the game. The difference in winning that game was them being on the backboard collectively. They can't really do anything with Joker. Defensively, the effort that they're trying to give, the Miami Heat are giving effort. The Denver Nuggets are exploiting mismatches. I don't think this is an effort issue more than it's a personnel issue. I've mentioned this to you guys in the past. Gabe Vincent switching on to bigs, Caleb Martin switching on to big guys, Jimmy Butler switching on to bigs. The Miami Heat have always been that kind of defensive team where they switch small guys on the big guys. Other teams haven't exploited that. The Denver Nuggets have. And because the Denver Nuggets have, it looks like there's no effort. Oh, there's absolutely effort there. There's absolutely effort there. So when, like I said, you get Jimmy Butler switched on the Joker and he drags him down to the block and goes after him. When you get Gabe Vincent switched on to Aaron Gordon and they go after him. That's a strategy that's not going to work moving forward. Now you get the Miami Heat in a zone. Well, teams go zone primarily because, number one, the team is in foul trouble. So we kind of gotta hide one of our guys. Well, in hiding your guy, you kind of exploiting them. And the reason why I see you kind of exposing them. And the reason why I say that is because teams can still run their sets, man-to-man sets offensively, and you can still go after the guy you need to go after when you're playing zone. And Mike Malone has done a good job at that. So when he puts Joker in the dunker spot to start, right? When he puts Joker in the dunker spot to start in the zone, which as wide as it is, he puts Joker in the dunker spot and then moves Joker back to the middle of the zone as his best playmaker. You exploit that zone so much. Why? Because now you get guys like Gabe Vincent switched on the Joker. Once again, a big guy switched on to a small guy. That's not going to work. And the reason why that's not going to work is because if that zone stays expanded, what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep Joker and Gabe Vincent one-on-one. Joker, as good as he is, he's going to find other guys like Jamal Murray. He's going to find KCP. He's going to find these guys within the offense. It's not just going to be, well, I got a small guy on me in Gabe Vincent, so I'm just going to go after him. Joker's offense is predicated on finding other guys. When you see him scoring, when you see him scoring a lot, when I say a lot, I mean 40, 45. That's because other guys don't have it going. And it's going to be difficult to do that when these guys have the open looks. If that's what you're banking on every night, if you're banking on guys not knocking down open shots every night, that's not going to happen. I was surprised that Mike Malone dug into the bench for a second and got Reggie Jackson some minutes. I'd like to see him get more minutes, and because I think that he could really help them. I thought Jeff Green gave them some really good minutes also. I thought Bruce Brown, who didn't shoot the basketball particularly well, I thought he gave them some solid minutes, but Christian Brown gave them the best minutes because he was the energy guy, and he kept those guys up, creating turnovers, finishing at the rim. Stuff like that is what keeps a team moving. Basically what Caleb Martin was doing for the Miami Heat. An energy guy, a guy getting out in the open floor and finishing, a guy getting a layup in the half court when that defense breaks down. Well, he makes life so much less difficult for Joker when he's doing that. Plus, he's giving them energy off the bench. That's something that the Miami Heat aren't prepared for, which would explain why they won yesterday. Now, moving forward, there isn't much else that the Miami Heat can counter. And the reason why I say that is because this is a personnel issue. A lot of times when you have teams go deep into their bench, they use their rotation players more because they have to. And I'm a firm believer that, winning the NBA championship, it's going to take 10 guys. But in this particular situation, in this series, it might not take 10 guys. It might take 8, maybe 9. And their personnel is better. But moving forward, I don't know what else. I'm not saying that the Miami Heat can't win this series. I think that the Game 4 winner wins this series. But I don't really know how much else the Miami Heat can do. But it's the playoffs, guys, and I'm here for it. And I will see you soon. But until then, take it light, but take it.